Political history is replete with constant clashes between governors and deputies, as well as president and vice presidents. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has canvassed for inclusion of specific roles of deputy governors in the constitution to address the incessant friction between the deputies and their principals. Speaking in Abuja at the launch of a book titled Deputizing and Governance in Nigeria, written by Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State, the former president listed good personal relationship, accessibility, mutual respect, and common focus on the part of the deputies as crucial factors for good working relationships with their principals. Let's share the story with you from TVC Ibrahim Issa.
It is a gathering of movers and shakers of the nation's politics and economy. They converge on the NAF Conference Center in the federal capital to attend the launch of a book written by Governor Abdullahi Ganduje titled Deputizing and Governance in Nigeria. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, former President Goodluck Jonathan, APC Vice Presidential candidate Kashim Shettima, who represented APC Presidential candidate Bola Tinubu, ministers and other top government officials congratulated Governor Abdullahi Ganduje on the publication.
While you are a deputy or vice, there are many around the principal who know that they cannot become deputy or vice since you're already there. But they try to be the assistant. Assistant president.
It is important to point out that beyond focusing on the factors that define the relationship between the deputy and the principal in Nigeria and many other countries, the book also examines the political history and trends of governance in our country, from the colonial period to the present. So it is good, it's a good book that we all should read.
Power is the most ephemeral of God's gifts to humanity, and whether we like it or not, we are going to spend more years of our lives outside power than in power. And once your time is up, you must realize that there is a new sheriff in town.
Nigeria's contemporary political history is filled with tales of incumbent and deputy face-offs, and most times cordial ties which have occurred at national, subnational, as well as at local council levels. Governor Ganduje, who has experience in that regard, decided to look at the matter in his 355-page book.
This publication, which chronicles my years of experience in the Nigerian project, is one of the defining moments of my life in public service. Principally, as two-term deputy governor and a presently serving my second and last tenure in office as the governor of Kano State.
Ganduje is the longest serving deputy governor in the country.
The book was reviewed by Attahiru Jega, former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Ibrahim Issa, TVC News, Abuja.
Jide, trashing this issue now you look, deputy governors especially and vice presidents, they don't seem to have to get fair deals from their principals.
Yeah, just spare tires.
Because apart from Abdullah Ganduje in Kano, that is one of the few deputy governors that his principal allowed to succeed him. And he too is
the principal too that succeeded him. The principal that allowed him to succeed him, they eventually fell apart.
They fell apart. And I think the person that Ganduje is propping up now, the candidate is deputy. I think Kano State has a unique story for that. But most other states, you hardly find the governors recommending their deputies. When they see that they have ambition, they will organize the House of Assembly, they will impeach you.
If you see the number of deputy governors that have been impeached, and usually it's governors who instigate the impeachment.
Sharp.
It's usually. I saw something.
Cannot impeach deputies.
They are the governors. You know, in 2019, Kogi Deputy Governor Samuel Achuba impeached Iyola Omishore, became the first deputy governor to be impeached since 1999. Chris Ekpenyong was deputy governor. In June 2005, he was impeached. Abiodun Aluko impeached as deputy governor of Ekiti. Tufayose. Femi Pedro impeached in 2007. Garuba Gadi impeached as deputy governor of Bauchi in August 2009. Ebebi Perembowe Ebebi impeached as deputy governor of Bayelsa June 2010. Sani Abubakar of Taraba impeached on the instruction of Sunte, Dambaba Sunte, in 2012. Jude Agbaso impeached as deputy governor under Okorocha in 2013. Madumere will also have been impeached as another deputy to Okorocha, but they couldn't find the number. So they were forced to leave Madumere. Yes. So what's I like this book, and I would like to get a copy, because what Ganduje, who had seen it all as deputy, governor, is saying is that there should be a specific role, and this man also said the same thing.
Former President Jonathan, because
said there should be a specific role, the Constitution given to deputies. So, in the case of Vice President, for example, Vice President has some roles given to him by the Constitution. In terms, the economy, for example, is in charge, it supervises the economy. But in the states, it is what the governors tell you to do that you do. And when you appear even to be a little creative or a little too hardworking or a bit of busybody, too much energy, the next thing they will send the assembly. I've not seen any deputy governor that an assembly in Nigeria got up on their own that they wanted to impeach. It's the governors who are telling them, impeach this person for me. And because those houses of assembly in Nigeria are largely rubber stamp of the executive, you'll find that whatever the executive says, they will be following the executive like this. Whatever the executive says, what they do. So they don't have a mind of their own. They just wait for the executive to give them direction, and you are supposed to be an independent arm of government.
No, look at what happened. Look at what happened in Rivers now. Wike told them when selection of Mayor,
when he was in his good book,
give him,
restore him as a former.
Give him all the perks of his office.
That was a person that a Supreme Court, Supreme Court removed.
In the eyes of the law,
he was never a governor. But you said they should restore.
They restored him.
The same assembly.
He started fraternizing with Atiku. Then the same house. Then came back and said, no, Celestine Omeya, go and return all the money that we paid you. Where is he going to find that money?
700 million naira.
That we paid you.
You said, go and pay all the money.
In 1 week.
Where will he find that kind of money?
He said, Wike said, okay,
and the assembly carried out that.
No, but he said when you show disloyalty, we crush you.
Yeah.
He boasted about it that he will crush you. So, for the moment that person stepped out of line, you knew that he would go for him.
To show you that the assemblies are in the pockets of most of the governors. Meanwhile, Wike said, I'm not the assembly now. He made the law. He said, so, if he fails to pay that money in 1 week, what will happen? He said the Attorney General knows what to do. Wike, don't cross.
He just taught him a lesson for.
See, this issue at stake. The VP said something there, and I pity him. He said, if you are seen to be working too much, then you might have some problem with your principal. He said, he now quoted Kingsley Mbadiwe. Then the man of timber, K.O. Mbadiwe, man of the popular timber and caliber fame, said a deputy is only as good as a repeater station of a major radio or television station. You know what a repeater station is? It's like a booster station. You have a station like TVC now, then you have a booster station somewhere. Nothing happens there. It's just to retransmit or to extend your signal.
It's just equipment that's there.
Equipment that is there. Like LTV has a booster station in Ikorodu, the LTV. So he said that's what, and that has been demonstrated under the Yaradua Jonathan administration, where because Jonathan knew what he was saying when he said there should be a constitutional rule.
Yes.
When Jonathan was there,
he was a newspaper reader.
He was reading newspapers. In fact, he said some people will
Under Alamesia.
No,
Under-
under Yaradua.
Okay.
So that's why some people ran out of town. See, some people.
Did you hear the story of the fact that he wanted someone to be made a minister?
Yeah.
And they told him, go and see that particular governor. He couldn't, in his place as a deputy to the president,
As a vice
he couldn't
president.
push for his only choice. He couldn't even push.
Yeah.
He was told, go and lobby that governor. If that governor agrees,
Yes.
then that person becomes a cabinet member. You know?
To
So
make matters.
That is the...
To make matters worse.
A lot of them have no clouds, nothing.
Some of these guys will come to see Yaradua. Why going to see Yaradua? They will say, Mr. VP, how's work today? Waiting then they talk for papers. You go and see Yaradua, gist, and come back. Mr. VP, well done.
You saw all they were doing to him that time that we said he wanted to see his boss.
Yeah.
They said, no, you can't see see him.
When he was ill.
When he was ill, he said, I want to see my boss. They refused. That was why he got angry. Immediately they gave him that power. The chief of army staff and some other people, he just sent them packing.
Sent them away.
He was, I think the news even came up with the headline that Orike Yaradua. He just sent them packing because he didn't get their cooperation.
I think it was Dambazao.
Yes, it was chief of army staff. Dambazao traveled out of the country.
And also,
before he got back, they had removed
And also
him.
the case of VP Osinbajo, we are all living witnesses. Most of the
president is out of the country now.
yeah.
And the president took his...
for some time, the president is not handing over to him.
He took his official powers with him.
And
No
apart
handing
from
over
that,
to him.
most
They
of
said we can run the country from
the
wherever.
social investment programs, SIPs,
My own
like
Nigeria.
trader money, all these other intervention programs,
Yeah,
constitutional card transfer,
was
used
stripped
to
of this.
be under the office of the
The vice
VP.
president, yes.
Today is under the Ministry of Humanitarian.
And the president has the right to create a ministry
Yes, that's why-
and assign roles to that ministry. If that is, if you are not happy with that, become a president.
we understand it.
Yes.
Even this issue of handing over, when you step out for medical, just 10 days, and then hand over
I
your,
think
to a deputy.
it should also be a lesson to some governors too that power is so transient.
And it has taken someone like Ganduje to...
Yeah.
Because he
Nice
saw it all.
one.
He
Nice one. Saw it
Look
from the
at-
backside.
We always say that our leaders should write. People will gain from what they write. Now, I can't wait to read what
Yes,
Ganduje-
so we need that book. And what's the name of that? Commissioner.
Our friend Mohammed Garuba.
Yes, so,
He made the book.
Honorable
and read
Commissioner.
it to us.
we are sending a
For
direct
JH, we need that book.
message to him now that for
Mohammed
the
Garuba.
team,
Give us that book.
send
Give us the
hard
book.
copy,
hard copy.
Yes.
We need to read what...
Very
we
interesting.
can
Yes, so.
speak to
At
it
least
very well.
I'm sure he spoke as an insider, somebody who went through it.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is the thing. They are just spare tires, but hopefully in future
They will
the
get
law,
their constitutional
the
role.
law will be changed and they can be given some specific roles. In some states, they made them local government in charge of local government. Some put them in charge of
Moji Jami.
Education.
Thank you. And BQ.
Some don't give them anything.